Okay, we're coming into 2524 Holmes Street, J. Frederick Smith, Continental Realty of Jax. For starters, we're walking into the living room area. Not that big, maybe 12 by 16 with a little cabinet. Nice ceiling fan. Ceilings are a decent height, not too bad, the normal 8.5 feet. Textured walls, hallway that goes down to some bedrooms, little galley kitchen, granite countertops. Maybe this is your dining space. Because the roof slopes, so does the ceiling. So in the corner there, that's a whole lot lower than the rest of the house, which is too bad. These are tile floors. And one thing here is that, like we see many times, the transition here shows us that the floor on this side is lower than the floor on this side. Why is that? No idea. Maybe it's an addition, maybe there was problems with the floor. I don't know what kind of floor we have underneath here, if this is a slab or whether there is a poured foundation, perimeter style, what we've got. I didn't notice any real openings for the foundation outside of the house, but you just never know. It's hard to say. In this little dining room, there is a lot of light from these two windows, but these are the older style aluminum frame single pane windows. And in the dining room is the doorway that goes into what I think is, and yes, it is definitely the laundry room, which is kind of a mirror of the dining room in size and the slope of the ceiling. Plenty of room, though, for your washer and dryer. That's in the worst sloped part. It's kind of too bad that this giant water heater happens to be right here in this space. Would have been nice if it was back there where that sink is, but hey, we can't be too picky. Maybe what you could do is take this guy out and put in a tankless. That would be nice. Lots of room for shelving. As you can see, whether these shelves stay or go, I couldn't tell you. I don't know. Floors feel nice though so far. Not feeling any weirdness any place. Doors and the knobs all look decent. You've got Cat 5. Your house is wired for Cat 5 for wired networking. So that's nice. You don't have to run everything off of Wi-Fi. I like Wi-Fi, but sometimes having a wired connection is more secure and is faster. Less problems, less interruptions, kind of like that. We're just gonna make a turn here and go into the kitchen and look at this big space past it. Now the kitchen cabinets are newer with a newer chrome pulls, all painted, which makes me think they're not like solid maple or anything, but they're relatively clean and nice white. They do have the soft closed doors. And okay, so we've got maple drawers here. These are the cabinets that were here when the people moved out. And the soft close drawers as well. Lots of cabinet space. Cabinets go way up to the ceiling or very close to it. I like that. Glass top, black glass top burners with the stainless front, stainless refrigerator, stainless microwave, stainless fixture for the sink, the ground fault interrupter outlet next to the sink. Thank you so much. This granite on the countertops is a nice thickness, and it has a kind of a red, purpley red color to the little color bits in there, and I like it. I like this creamy color with the little red bits. It's kind of a popular one, but a lot of times I see it and it's not that thick, but this is a nice thickness for this countertop. Pretty beefy. Sink needs to be cleaned, but besides that, it is a decent double bowl stainless sink. Definitely needs a cleaning. I don't see garbage disposal. That would be something that you certainly could add. So the galley kitchen is big enough for 2 people, barely, but it is big enough for 2 people. When you're washing dishes, you could look out at least a little bit into the side yard here through the big window that gives us some light as well. All the lighting is an older style can lights with a bulb. And I think you're going to replace these bulbs with some LED bulbs, and that would light better and it would look nicer. Now, once we get out of the kitchen into this back area, notice that we've got a change in the flooring. It's still tile, it's just a different tile floor. Feels nice and solid. The room here has a vaulted ceiling, so you know I'm going to like that. Ceiling fan is the old style ceiling fan, and what do you say? I can't do anything about that. Windows are the same, single pane aluminum. There's a nice size slider out to the deck. It gives lots of light, and a shelf up above, 80s or 90s, late 80s, 90s style, where you can put some stuff up there like plants or whatever. Okay, so there is another doorway out of this bonus room, which is really huge, by the way, really huge. You know, maybe 24 by 18 or something. Nice and big. But anyway, there is a doorway out into what appears to be the master. So in order to get to the master bedroom, you have to go from the kitchen into this bonus room and then through this doorway right here. There's a step down. So the floors transition back to the height of the floors before the kitchen. And the master bedroom, well, okay, so actually, although we've got a bathroom off of this room, this cannot officially be called a bedroom because we don't have a closet. There's no closet. Vaulted ceilings, I'd still use it for my master. Vaulted ceilings, could have done a little better with the peak there, but that's okay. Same ceiling fan as we saw in the other room. A single window, but the window seems to let in a decent amount of light. The room is probably 14 by 16. That looks like an old phone jack that just needs to be taken out and the wall patched. There's a little bit of overspray that I see on the walls, and there's been some patching that has been done that, you know, it didn't actually get done nicely, but at least it's done. The ceiling fan lights and the fan itself have a remote that goes with it. So let's look at the ensuite bathroom. So first thing you're going to see is a single sink vanity. This is a one-piece unit that you can buy at Home Depot, a couple $100 with a chrome or nickel, I should say, faucet, a picture mirror there framed in, low-end 4-light vanity light bar, a little towel hook. The tile floors feel nice. They're not new. I can tell because we've got some staining in the grout, and maybe even some cracked grout I see there. If this is not a cement slab that's sitting on, then that's definitely going to be a concern. The tub itself has been trimmed in or wrapped. Okay, so I just stepped here, and that tile is really loose. Needs to come up and be the mortar used to put it down, scraped out, and then the tile put back in place and re-grouted. So anyway, going to the tub surround, it's the same tile as the floor. It goes all the way to the ceiling. They did a relatively nice job of that. The tiles are definitely installed to here correctly, but these big tiles that make up the basis of the tub surround are not installed like they should be. This tile should be centered right here, or this line should be centered. And that's probably closer since we want that line to kind of run down. Does that make sense? We really want uniformity in our tile installs. They did some fun things like put these little medallions in after cutting the tiles for them to fit. And they did a decent job on that. The shower head is a separate shower head and sprayer. You can pull that little guy out and spray, but it will just hook up back there as well and turn into one shower head. The chrome fixtures are showing a little bit of wear, but they're not too bad. But we don't have a shower door. And you know how I feel about that, especially when you have loose tile. If there's not cement underneath this, then that means any water that sprays out of here is going to damage your floors. And those are expensive, expensive repairs. We have a big window here, but it's not opaque. What is it? why is it that we can't get opaque windows in the bathrooms? You know, if you're standing here changing, it's not like everybody's going to see you, but gosh, if you're the neighbors in their yard over there doing something, they're going to be able to look right in at you. I don't like that. I don't see any blinds in here either, so, you know, you're going to need some. This window is high up. I'd say it's almost 5 feet to the sill, which makes it really not a good egress window. But I guess you could stand on the toilet if there was a fire and then onto the tank and then get out that way if that's what you had to do. So there's also a little closet here in the bathroom. All right, now I said there was no closet. I was mistaken. So here's where the closet is. Instead, it is actually in the bathroom itself. There's a light, but no. There we go. So we finally, last switch, of course, found the switch. The closet is an okay size, maybe 32 inches deep by, at the short point there, maybe 6 feet. And with a bar and a shelf, and they're both at okay heights, and not too bad. I wish this was actually down a little bit lower, because then I could really get a lot of stuff up on that shelf, and it wouldn't hurt me to have my long clothes hanging, because this bar is probably almost, it's not 6 feet, but 5.5 feet up. It really could be down quite a lot and not have a problem with my clothes hanging down, right? You know, if I have a pair of pants, there's going to be a lot of open space below that. So really that bar should be down about where that little point is, or not quite that low, but close to it. So you can get some more big stuff on the top of that shelf, especially since the ceiling in the closet is so much lower than the ceiling in the bathroom itself. All right, so that's the master. We're going to walk around and hit the other bedrooms real quick, and then we're going to move on to the next property, because we're kind of running late today. We already looked in there. So our last spot is down this little hallway off of the living room. Now, off of the living room, we've got a big door here. It looks like they put a louvered vent, which means that this door is probably cut out on the backside. And how much you want to bet they didn't cover it? Look at that. Yep, that's what I thought. Pretty ugly. Not like you're going to see it or anything, but still. I sure like it when I open my door if it looks nice too. Now here's something. The door here has a nice gap between the door and the floor, but as I move this door over, it gets stuck right there. What that means is that the floor is not level. That doesn't mean necessarily that there's a problem. This is a tile floor. It just means that the floor is not level. Could be settling, could be many things. But anyway, here's your furnace. Looks like it's relatively clean and in good shape. There's a fire extinguisher, 2 fire extinguishers. I don't know how good they are, but they're there. And your panel here is a Murray panel. And it seems like some of it is marked. There's not a lot of breakers here. But, you know, it's what it is. And at least it's clean and is not a panel that I'm aware of that is a problem. Now, I'm seeing different. We've got a D-square. We've got GE. Some of these outlets have been, or some of these circuit breakers have been replaced. Different breakers in here. But, you know, it's still a clean-looking panel that is in relatively good shape. So that's okay. And it's in a nice place. You don't have to look at it. I thank you for that. I don't know what that is. All right, so next door over. Now, I see a closet here, so I'm going to bet this is the bathroom. And I'm right. So here we are in the bathroom. We've got a different kind of tile in the bathroom. So this gives us 3 kinds of flooring now. This tile, this darker one that we've seen in most of the house, plus the lighter one that was in the bonus room just before the master. Oh, 4 actually, because of the carpet. So we've got 4 different kinds of flooring in this house. That's excessive. That's what I think. I like 2 or maybe 3. Probably not 3. 2, Well, okay, 3 if you have carpet. Three is okay. But 3 different kinds of hard flooring, I don't like that. That's too much for me. 2 is my limit. Anyway, this bathroom is not very big. It's just the width of the tub. The tub just barely fits in, and it's probably that same 8 feet going this way too, maybe 9. If you're sitting on the toilet, you're not going to be banging your knees on the wall, but you're definitely sitting close enough that the TP dispenser on that wall is going to be within reach, even if you're small. Tub is tiled just like the other bathroom, same as the floor, with the medallions cut in, and they actually installed all these tiles correctly. So you've got the center row all the way to the bottom. Thank you for doing that, although the medallions are off center a little bit. Darn it. Come on, you guys, you were so close. The point of this medallion should be lined up with this line. And the point of this medallion should be lined up with this line. Right? That's what it should be. But that's not what we've got. So I'm not, I'm picky. That's all. It's just I'm picky. They did this thing. This is another thing. I don't understand. Why do you drop the ceiling down to make it more claustrophobic in the shower? There's no reason for that. It makes no sense, right? If you're tall, why do you want to feel like you're in a little box when you're showering? I just hate that. Drop down ceilings, Anyway, I like lots of space. So when somebody steals my space for no reason whatsoever, I get irritated about that. Okay, anyway, the tile is installed okay, not bad. The fixtures in the bathtub are not newer, but they're not bad. The toilet is a newer toilet with the double flush buttons, okay? Not square, it's kind of sitting cockeyed. That's not necessarily a problem, but you could probably adjust it so it was more square. I would want to. Maybe you can't though, because look at how close it is to that sink. They had to kind of put it in there sideways to fit this little vanity sink in here. This is a vanity pedestal. You see how the sink sticks out? That's because this cabinet is really, really small, and they needed to do that so that there was enough room that you could actually get into the bathroom. The ground fault interrupter outlet is directly over the sink. Thank you very much. A framed mirror, no medicine cabinet, the cheap 4-light vanity light, chrome towel bar, matching toilet dispenser, vent in the ceiling. For a small bathroom, it's okay. I'm not going to complain. Well, yeah, obviously I am going to complain because I've been whining about it this whole time. But, the reality is that for a hall bath, it's okay. It could definitely be worse. Glass doors. I'll just say it again. Okay, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time looking in the little closet here. It is a hall closet. It is not a coat closet. It's just for storage. There's not enough room in there for brooms, but that's what it is. Okay, here's an interesting feature. The doorknob locks. Right? So that means you can go in your room and you can lock the door, and without the key, nobody's getting in. Alternatively, you could go in and lock the door. Okay, there's the little switchy thing there. So that's okay. You can't be locked in your room. But if you have the key, you can get in the room. So if you have teenagers that lock their door, at least you've got a way to get them out. This bedroom is kind of tiny at maybe 9.5 feet, maybe 10 feet by maybe 12 or 13. One window looking out over the neighbor's fence. Little ceiling fan. Ceiling heights are good. The closet is really big and spacious. Maybe 36 inches by 48 inches with a single bar and shelf. Lots of room. See, now this is, see how much you can get in there. You could put huge boxes on the top. This bar could still be down a little bit. It's still too high. But at least the closet is deep enough that you could put big boxes on the top of that shelf. You could actually probably stick another piece of wood up here and extend that shelf out and fit even more things in there. But, then we're looking at the height of that shelf being too much and getting too close to the doorway where you would have a problem getting the boxes over the top. Well, that's okay. So I don't know what this was. Maybe there was a door here at one point in time. It's not just the trim. There's also kind of a change in the wall right here. I don't know how well that translates in the video, but there was something here at one point in time, and they added this little piece of trim. I don't see that anywhere else. This is the old original trim, where it's very old trim. I can tell because it's, you know, knobbly and bumpy and has been painted a bunch of times with little bits of things on it, just like the walls are. But this is an older home, so that's kind of expected. Anyway, yeah, so here you can see that slope from here really good. You see how that slopes down? Let me turn this. I probably messed your video up, but hey, that's okay. So anyway, you should be able to see the slope there from the main living area into the hallway. It does slope down towards the bathroom. All right, let's get this last bedroom. Carpeted floors, a little bit bigger than the other bedroom, maybe 10 by 12. Same ceiling fan, 2 windows, lots of light. Closet is a decent size, maybe 32 inches by 6 feet, with a bar and a shelf. Ceiling height's decent. I did mention the ceiling fan. It's missing the smoke detector. You're definitely going to want to get one in there. Some of the electrical has a conduit to it. It's like an external box. This might have been put in place, looking at it, for a window AC unit. That would be why I would say that this is here, rather than using this one. And look at the plug. This tells me that this is a higher wattage circuit. That kind of plug would require a higher wattage circuit, which would be perfect for a window AC unit. Okay, so we're once again at 2524 Holmes Street. You know, the layout of the house is interesting. Is a lot of different spaces. I feel like it's bigger than the last place that we looked at. The yard isn't bigger though, and it sits definitely closer to the street. It has a little brick driveway rather than the gravel. You've got some landscaping in the front. The kitchen is a galley style kitchen that's decent with decent cabinets. Big bonus room that looks out over the patio in the back, or the deck in the back that looks out over that really nice big backyard. I love the laundry room. It's sad about the sloped ceilings in the laundry room and the dining room, but you know, if you're careful, you can manage that. All in all, I'd say this is a nice house. 3 bedrooms. The master's nice and big with a walk-in closet and ensuite that in some ways makes me laugh. So I hope you guys appreciated this one. We're going to go ahead and move on to the next property now. And if you have any questions, of course, please give me a call anytime. Once again, this is J. Frederick Smith, Continental Realty of Jax. We've been reviewing 2524 homes. We'll see you at the next one.